back to the other room, and he'll change the graphics. And grab that microphone there, Linda. How are you doing?
I'm alive and well.
Yeah. Well, you were a little under the weather last week.
Oh, I do not recommend COVID to anybody.
So just to be clear,
Yes,
you had COVID.
I did.
You've been vaccinated.
I did. I was.
Have you been?
Yes.
Were you boosted?
No, I was too lazy to go get my booster. So
Okay,
I think
so-
maybe that would be a good idea.
Well, I don't know.
But let me say this.
Yeah.
As bad as it was, it could have been worse
Okay.
because it didn't get my lungs. You know, everything else that could have been a bodily function, I had. And I was so zero energy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't even know if I was bored. I didn't have enough energy to know that.
Wow.
I didn't want to read. I didn't want to hold a book. I didn't want to look at the television. The house could have blown up around me, and I probably wouldn't even cared because I was so just bleh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not like that. I got to be busy. I got to go. You know, there's things to do, people to see, places to be.
Right.
You know, let's do it.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, the grass is growing. Good for it. Yay.
Wow.
It's still growing because I haven't even had time to get out there. It's appalling. I've never let my yard go this long without mowing.
Yeah.
One day I thought, ooh, I feel good. I got out there and I did my backyard and I weed-eated the rest of it. And the next day, didn't care at all
Wow.
because I was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was stupid.
Yeah.
But, you know, no, I ran a fever at the beginning and then that was gone. And took 3 tests to make sure I was negative before I went back to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it was gone, it was gone. I felt, hey, I'm among the living. I'm going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
I didn't have a headache like some people I've heard that just, you know, rips their head off for days.
Right.
Didn't have that. So I got a stupid cough, but that's nothing new. I've had a cough off and on ever since I moved here. And it's just a very shallow, dry cough that sounds like your toenails are going to be ripped apart or something, you know.
Oh, my gosh.
But, yeah, that's special, too. There's no snot. It was just, let me tell you, it was no picnic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're better.
Oh, I am. I'm, like I said, blowing and going all week this week. So
Trying to get caught up.
Oh,
so.
there is no way. There is no way. And let me say, if you plan on calling in and saying, you know, I got your card, I've heard you on the radio about trash removal, I'm not making any promises because there's such a list that the scouts couldn't even get to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been working all week trying to, well, we did before that too, pick up on a lot of these that have been called in.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many for the 16th and the 23rd. I know there is no way on God's green earth the basketball boys are going to be able to catch everybody.
Wow.
So just keep in mind, we're doing our absolute best. So don't get your hopes up.
You might want to call a friend or a neighbor to come over and take it to one of the traveling dumpsters or the transfer station.
Yes, because, you know, when this started, not this year, but however many years we've been doing pickups, it was truly intended.
It's been a few years.
Yeah, that we've had the groups, the kids groups doing this. It was for if you had absolutely no way to haul it yourself and you didn't have any access to pick up, you know, you're disabled, handicapped, elderly, whatever, and you needed some stuff hauled off. That's truly, absolutely what it was intended for.
Right.
And we've had, you know, people that have...
A lot of those.
Yeah, that have been that way and are most appreciative and truly, really need the help. We've also pulled up to, you know, 2 or 3 pickups in the yard and able-bodied people, and the kids recognize, like, why? I said, because they got their card and it's a service and we're doing it. So just load it up and we'll be on our way. But, you know, the ones that really appreciate it and need the help, the kids also recognize that and say, you know, this is why we do this, and understand that. So
it's kind of a learning experience for the kids, because they're saying, okay, do you want to be that guy?
Yeah.
Or do you not want to be that guy? And I'm hoping that they look at this experience and go through this experience and go, I'm not going to be that guy.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna figure out a way, since I have trucks and I'm able-bodied, I'm going to figure out a way to get this done without having to rely on somebody else.
Yes. And there's always somebody out there that's going to be rude.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you haven't run into that.
Yeah, we have.
Rude people?
It is a free service, people.
People come, you're bringing kids.
Yeah.
You're coming to help clean up the town. Mm-hmm. You're not charging anything for this service, and people are rude?
Well, if they don't get picked up right away when they think they should, then I get calls. And they're rather abrupt and tacky, I say.
I know you can't do this. I know you can't do this.
No, I cannot.
But if I was in that situation, I think I would say, you know what? I just checked our schedule, and we're just not going to be able to get to you this year.
Yeah, we're really full.
And so if
like I said, it's a free service, and we're doing absolutely the best that they can.
But
no, but I can sure scream and holler and jump up and down after I hang up.
Well, as long as that helps your mental health, letting off some steam.
Yes, it does.
But,
I can, go out in the car and turn the radio on real loud and go.
But we've seen a lot of this since the COVID lockdowns. Mm-hmm. It's almost like people forgot how to interact with other humans. And maybe this was kind of coming along with the advent of social media, where a lot of people do most of their communicating on a computer screen.
Yeah, where there's no articulation of voice at all.
Right. And I may have told this story before. I was communicating with one of our engineers via text.
Right.
And I asked a question, and I got an answer, and my first interpretation of the answer was, well, you butt. And then I thought for a minute, well, maybe he means this. Mm-hmm. And so you know what I did? I used this as a telephone.
What a concept.
And I called the guy, and I didn't call him out. I didn't say, are you being a butt? I just, let me clarify what we were talking about here and as we had the actual conversation, he wasn't being a butt. He was just answering the question in a way that made sense to him, and I was interpreting it as him being a butt.
That's what's wrong with written word. A letter or a card or a note or anything, you can't hear what tone it was meant for.
Right.
And you can take it very wrong, or you could take it wrong in another way and think that, they're being really friendly, and maybe they're not. Maybe they're being very businesslike.
Exactly.
And, so conversation out loud is a big benefit.
But I think we've been heading in this direction for a long time, especially amongst the younger generation, that they don't know that this is a phone. This is a texting messaging device. Why are you calling me? The only reason you should be calling me is because somebody's dead. Don't call me.
Sometimes it takes. You text, and it's like, oh my God, this takes too long. Just pick it up and call.
Well,
get it over with.
I get that.
Too.
I understand
sure.
that. But I think what happens is we have these. We don't communicate face to face or on the phone with words and language and body language and all that. And so then we go into the lockdown, and then we lock up kids, school-age kids, for however year and a half or whatever. And so now we've just lost all sense of interaction. And then when we do get to open up, people go into restaurants and they're jerks, or people don't get something exactly the way they want it when they expect it to be, and instead of trying to understand why the situation behind it, they just immediately go into jerk mode. And we've lost this sense of personal interaction. Linda's going to stick around here for a little bit, and we're going to come back on the other side of the news. This is KS